Minding me.
Good evening, good evening there, everybody. Brian Rieger here with the We Believe Team Thursday Night Hangout for August 7th, 2014. Tonight we're just going to do a little Q&A. We're going to talk a little bit, give you guys a little value, give you guys a few tips and tricks and things you can do to help grow your business or get your business up and running. So it's myself tonight, Brian Rieger, and the one and only Scott Small, and I think Debbie McKinney might be joining us, trying to scramble to get home if you can. So if you're seeing this, make sure you just throw in the chat room there that you hear us loud and clear. First of all, let me tell you guys, it's been a great week for me. Spent a lot of time having some fun, played a little golf, did some swimming, did some hot tubbing. Family and I went. We went on a mini vacation where we just decided. Usually we'll go to the beach for a week or whatever, but this time we decided let's just have a little fun. So we did everything from horseback riding to boating to went to the beach for a day or so. Went to Kings Dominion. Just really kind of just cruised around. Did some camping. Did ate some nice food. Went out and had some Thai food. Had some Chinese food. Went roller skating. What else did we do? We just did so much stuff for a solid week just to have a little fun and go out there and just break down the monotony of life. And it was a real good time, but it was nice not to have to sit there and say, hey boss, can I get some time off? Or for me, it was just able to just pack a bag and go, and it was absolutely wonderful. So if you ever have the means to do that, I just highly recommend that you just get out of Dodge for a little while, go have a little fun. A couple things before we dig into the meat of things here. If you are a guest here, first I want to welcome you to be on this hangout, and feel free to click the link below this video, the Get Started Now button, and get started with whoever invited you. We have some exciting things going on, some nice tools we're putting together for you guys in the back office of our We Believe Team website. We're actually working on some presentations for you folks that will be coded to you, that you'll be able to use to send your prospects to and get your traffic to, that will be a little more targeted towards the leads that we are looking for and that we are getting. So a lot of exciting things coming on. Matter of fact, Scott and I both put together presentation pages today and are testing them right now as we speak. So hopefully we'll get something to you guys in the beginning of next week, if not middle of next week, but hopefully definitely before the next week's hangout. Maybe we'll just announce a few things at the next week's hangout and give you guys some links to go out and start promoting to your lists. Scott, are you got your stuff all figured out there? Oh, you're good to go. So I just want to welcome you guys to the hangout tonight. I'm going to pass it over to Scott, let him welcome you guys also, and feel free that we do have the chat roll. Feel free to ask us some questions if you got any questions, and we will probably be talking about money tonight. Just remember, our results are extraordinary, and you can click the link below at the bottom of the page to get to the income disclaimer, or you can go to empowernetwork.com/income.php. So Scott, why don't you hop out, say hello, and I know you got some training and stuff tonight for us too, so I'll pass it over to you, my brother.
All right. Hey, thank you, Brian, and welcome everyone. We're really grateful to have you here and honored to be sharing some time with you, because we know that certainly your time is valuable, and we respect that, and glad to see everybody coming out and joining us. And one thing I can tell you is well, let me go back a little bit. Last year, at this time, things really started ramping up for me. I think it's kind of a function of, all right, this is, the summer is winding down, kids are going back to school, and then all of a sudden people kind of, stand back and they say, all right, well, we had a nice summer, but wouldn't it be nice if maybe we could do something where either I could stay home, or I could bring in some extra money, or I could do something to really, put myself in a position where I'm building a future for myself, rather than, just being in a place where, you're getting by, living paycheck to paycheck, or maybe, you start reflecting a little bit on, what's going on, where you're going, and what you can do to maybe, put yourself in a better place for your future. And I think that that's a pattern that's out there, that, summer winds down, fall starts, and people just, really take inventory of where they're at and what's going on. And it's a really good time. It's traditionally, there's cycles and what have you in any business. And in the work and home business, I think there's a cycle that, come into the fall is really a good time. The holidays are around the corner and people just really start to reflect on where they're at, what they can do to maybe put themselves in a better position. And I can tell you, my best month last year was in September, so this is the time to really pay attention. And we're seeing a pickup in people that are actually making inquiries. I'm seeing more interaction with people. I'm getting more responses. I've seen more people being signed up by me and the rest of the team. So what I would say is really don't take your foot off the accelerator here. This is the time to really ramp it up and put yourself in a position where you can do things to build up your business. Now, one of the things that Brian talked about is, we're doing things behind the scenes. We're trying to find the best of ways to get the best of results with some of the resources and things that we have that we've been sharing with the team. But we realize that this is something that, we aren't doing this alone. We're doing this as a team, and to really grow as a team, we need you to be successful, and that's something that we, really take seriously and we feel is very important. And what we're doing is we're looking at new sales pages. We're looking at things that we can do to, maybe put together some team funnels or put together some additional resources. And, talk about early on, but I changed the landing page, went out for a bike ride this afternoon, and I came back and I had somebody signed up. Now, call it coincidence, call it, the stars were all aligned, call it the law of attraction, whatever it is, it's encouraging to see that things that we do start to create results. And that's really, what this is all about, is we want to work together as a team, because without you guys, we're nothing. This is not about me making money or Brian making money or anybody else, individually. This is us working as a group. And we have a goal here. We want to get 8 people to that $100,000 a year level by the end of the year. And anybody that's on this line or anybody that's here definitely could be someone that, could get there. This is not something that's impossible. I mean, the thing about this business is when it starts clicking, it can click very fast and really come together. So, what I would say is, if you're in a position now, what you need to do is just, look around and say, all right, what am I doing? What can I do better? And where do I need to really pay attention to get the best of results? Because that's really, how this business grows. It's something that, we have tons of training. Now it's just a matter of taking that training and applying it and putting together a plan of action to get you to your goals, because they are definitely attainable, and we're literally just getting started here. Things that we're learning, that we're looking at is, different ways of marketing and things that we're going to be, as we learn them, we're going to share them with you, because that's really what this is all about. So, that's basically what I'm thinking tonight. And, as I said, we're doing this as a team, and, it's really important that, we share what we're learning and how it can help everybody. And, the nice thing about this business is nobody here is a total expert. We're all learning as we go, and it's an experiment. I mean, the good thing about marketing is there is no total wrong way, there is no right way. You put your results out there, you try something, you test, you tweak, you play with it, and then, when you start to get results, what you'll take is, what has been working, and then you can scale it up and build that into something bigger. So this business isn't difficult. We have all of the hard part figured out for you, the technology, the things where, it would take most people really, where most people would get discouraged in setting up a website and in doing all the things that help to get you in a business to be online. That's all taken care of for you. So, what you need to do now, and the only thing you need to do is focus on your marketing and be consistent in it. And, that's really where your results will come from. So that's what I've got for now. And Brian, any further thoughts?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know me, I always got thoughts. A couple things is, guys, they say that knowledge is power, but really it's applied knowledge. You really need to go out there and make a challenge to yourself that you're going to go out and learn something today, or maybe not today, but tomorrow. Starting tomorrow, you're going to go out and you're going to learn something, and you're going to actually apply it into your business. And every day I stretch myself to learn something new, or to do something different, or to take something I've learned and apply it in a way that I think is going to help grow my business. So that might be something as simple as, hey, look, if you don't have your inner circle yet, stretch yourself a little bit and say, hey, what do I need to do to go out and get my inner circle? Or if you don't have your Costa Rica, your 15K, what can I do to go out and get to the next level in my business, and then go out and learn something new and apply what I just learned into making money with it, okay? Because one of the things that we can give you all the tools, we can give you all the resources, we can give you the best landing pages in the world, but if you don't do something to get traffic to your business, you don't have anything. You don't have a business right now. So you really want to challenge yourself every day and say, well, what can I do better? What action can I take that I haven't taken yet? Because I'll tell you, there's no difference between me and you, and there's no difference between Scott and you. There's no difference between any of us. We might have just made some decisions you haven't made yet, or done some things you haven't done yet, but that's really the only difference. And I pride myself on letting people know, hey, what we do is not get rich quick. It's not free money in your bank account, but you can get rich quickly. You really can, because once it starts snowballing, it's they say if you take a snowball to the top of a snow-covered mountain and you push it down, at first it's still just a little snowball, but as it starts gaining momentum and start rolling down that hill, it's going to collect more and more snow, and then once the momentum kicks in and the gravity kicks in, you can't stop it, and then becomes an avalanche. So really, I challenge you that if you haven't started our business yet, then get yourself started. If you have started, then go out there and take some action. And for me, I don't know what your action looks like. Whether it's go out and buy that product you don't own yet, or go out there and learn a new technique on how to shoot a video, or putting up a blog post or something. Because it's not just about learning. It really isn't. Even though we have some of the greatest training in the world, you need to go out and apply what you're learning into your business. The worst thing that you can do, and the killer to any business, is tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, well, I didn't do what I wanted to do today, so forget it. I'll just do it tomorrow. Because what happens is the more you push it off, the easier it becomes. And the easier it becomes to say, you know what, forget it, I'll just do it tomorrow. Oh, you know what, forget that, I'll just do it tomorrow. And it becomes, it becomes that snowball effect. And I've seen it happen with people where they start up here and they're all excited, and they start spiraling themselves down, filled with doubt, filled with lack of action, and they really just kind of drive themselves into the ground. And I've seen the exact opposite, where somebody just says, hey, you know what, I might not be doing anything today, but starting tomorrow, I'm going to start doing this, and I'm going to start taking it seriously, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get me to where I want to get. Come hell or high water, nothing can stop me. And then they do the exact opposite, where they just start taking massive action and when they hadn't before. So, that's my challenge to everybody this week, is just go out there and do something that you haven't done before to help grow your business. And again, whether it's buy one of the products, or plug it in the training, or both. If you don't have your inner circle, go get your inner circle, and then start applying some of that knowledge and some of that training into your business. Because it's like, the analogy I like to tell people is, if you went out and bought a TV, for let's say $500. All right, that's just like the Costa Rica Intensive. If you buy the Costa Rica Intensive, just like a TV, are you just going to come home and keep the TV in a box and just set it off in the corner? Or are you going to open the TV up and pull it out of the box and watch it? Your training and your products are no different. If you have products, go out there and start learning them. You don't just watch a video to watch a video. You want to watch a video so you can learn it and then apply the knowledge that you just gained. So that's where I had with that, Scott. Why don't you go ahead and take over for a little bit, and if you have any other thoughts.
Well, you know what, Brian, you're absolutely right. It's very easy to stop yourself from getting results.
You're muted.
Oh, I am. No, I'm not.
You're muted.
You can't hear me?
Which brings me to my next point, is you don't have to be a technological wizard to make money in this business either. Did you unplug your mic, or?
No, my microphone is part of my computer. I am.
So I cannot hear you.
All right. Hang on. I'll reload here.
Okay, well, I'll just keep rambling. You just talk over me when you oh, I guess he's going to close down and come back. So, guys, you don't have to be a technological genius to do well here. I mean, Scott's made 6 figures in Empower Network, and obviously he can't even get his mic to work. So, that just goes to show, really, you don't need to do a lot of technical stuff to be successful here. You just need to take action and consistent action. Every day, do something to grow your business. Whether it's, go out and get 15 new people onto your list today, or go out and say, you know what, I'm not going to go to bed tonight until I get 1 new business partner. Scott talked earlier about how he went on a bike ride, came back, and had a new business partner. Like last night, I went to bed, I woke up, had a new member sign up. So, it happens it happens constantly for those that take action constantly. The ones that take action sporadically, their business grows sporadically. And that's really the difference between the people that are succeeding and the people that aren't. The ones that take consistent effort and do it every day, day by day, are the ones that have results every day consistently. The ones that just sit there and say, well, you know what, I'm only going to put in a little bit of effort this week, and I'll maybe work today, and then I'm going to put my business on hold for a couple days, and then come back and then say, well, I'll do something today, and then the next 4 days they do nothing. Then they wonder why their business is sporadic at best. Because what we do here is we're part of something special. We're part of a culture, and we're part of a team that really, really, really wants to see you be successful. Scott, did you get your
I'm back. Actually, I was reading the chat roll. Can you hear me, Brian?
Check your settings.
No,
Hover over your screen and hit that cogwheel, and check your settings and set it to whatever mic.
No, I'm good.
Needs to be.
I'm good. I think it may be.
For a second. There you go.
Can you hear me?
I can absolutely hear you.
Okay. You know what? It's funny. I was reading the chat roll, and people in the chat roll were saying that they could hear me. So it might have been you this time, but you know what? No problem. You know what?
Yeah, but it's because they're on a delay.
Yeah, but it was actually the in the chat roll they said they could hear me, but you couldn't. There was an echo, and it's hard to understand you, Brian. I just heard that.
Okay.
So do you have your? I'm
on my mic. I don't.
No. But do you have the?
Nope.
The other channel. Do you have the volume up on the broadcast?
Nope.
Okay.
Nah, we're good. Why don't you just talk for a little while? I'll see what I can do.
Okay. Well, one of the things that's really important in this business is to find your market, to find your voice, to find what your brand is, what it is that you want to portray to people, and that's something that maybe we haven't talked about as much as we should, because the whole idea here, believe it or not, or not believe it or not, what really works best, and things are all changing in the way this market is, and the change is you want to be connecting with the people that are following you, connecting with your audience, and really giving them value, because the old business model of just selling or being in someone's face about buy, well, that's really people. I just heard I'm in one of the books. I've been riding my bike a lot this summer, and one of the books that I was reading said that people are exposed to 5,000 different sales messages every day. And then he actually followed up with that and said that if you go back a generation, probably people didn't hear 5,000 in a year. And then if you go back even a generation before that, it might even be something to the effect of 5,000 in their lifetime. So what's really happening here is people are getting bombarded more and more. And what you need to do is stand out from the crowd and actually find a way to connect with people and give them value and really be transparent, be real. And that's really what's going to make you successful in your business, because you're not me, I'm not you, you're not Brian. Your story is perfectly fine. It's more than enough to really put you out in a place where you're going to connect with a segment of the market. Because if you're trying to be everything to the entire market, you're probably not going to have any market. So what you really need to sit down and think about is, what is your target market? And the way to do that is maybe even just break it down by age. Pick an age group of 15 years, one way or another. Are they male? Are they female? You know, what are their biggest problems? And really take the time to think about that. You know, what challenges do they have? What are they looking for? What do they want? You know, really build, you know, they call it an avatar. Build that person in your mind that you want to be connected with, because when you start to focus in on who it is that you want to be connecting with, you're going to find that market, and they're going to find you, and that's going to be your stronger connection, because that's going to be the person that's going to relate to what you have to say. They're going to want to hear what you have to say, and as long as you're giving them some value in your message, you're going to get a result from that. And that's one of the things that, you know, we've talked about, but really it's something that will help you build your business, because what happens so many times is you just try and be everything to everybody, and your message is just so muddied up that it's not getting through to anyone. So, you know, I really suggest that you try that exercise and spend the time and work backwards then, because now once you've picked out who it is that you want to be relating to, you can now start to focus your marketing in that way. And you know, one of the other things you want to do is, you, like I was talking about, giving value. And one of the things that, you know, that I suggest that you do is to take the time to, you know, put things on your Facebook page that does offer value, because, you know, when people interact, first off, your Facebook rankings go up. You know, if you start getting comments and likes and things of that nature, that's the kind of thing that really will get you more exposure, because Facebook is really, you know, it's a fantastic tool and something that all of us should be using as much as we possibly can, because, you know, that's a place that, you know, people will interact with you. But, you know, the other thing that I suggest is that you tone back the amount of selling and the amount of throwing your links and things like that into your posts, because, you know, what happens is, you know, people don't like to be sold, but they do love to buy. So what you want to do is make a connection, and by having that connection, that's going to give you the ability to have people maybe ask you what you're doing. So, you know, for an example, you know, something that is, you know, a way of selling without selling is, I see Mark, and by the way, welcome Mark, and congratulations on getting your 5 new leads today. And that's because he's taking action. But, you know, he can talk about that. And not in a salesy way, but just merely, you know, mentioning the fact that, you know, here he has, you know, with what he's learning, he's connected with and you know, found 5 new people that are interested in getting information from him. And, you know, by taking that and leveraging it, you start to get a better result, because now all of a sudden, you know, you're showing people that you are real. You're getting a real result. You've got something to talk about, and, you know, people are watching you, and they're curious about that. So one of the things that I do suggest, you know, a couple of ways to really start to build up, you know, your presence out there is to use video. And I know that we really, you know, a lot of people are very intimidated by video, but, you know, the real bottom line is, it's so much of it is in your mind. You start thinking about what should be said, or, you know, if it's powerful enough, or if you're pronouncing every word properly, or if you're saying everything properly. You know what? It all doesn't matter, because the more real you are and the more transparent you are and the more you share where you're at, what's going on, and what your vision is, the more people that are really going to connect with you. So, you know, a lot of what will get a result here is just being real, being transparent, being who you are, and sharing what your real vision is and what you're trying to accomplish. I'll take that word "try" out there. What your goal is, what you're really focusing on to create. And the people that are in that same place will connect with you, and that's really something that, you know, you can leverage. So one of the things that I wanted to show you tonight is, an easy and quick way to put a posting onto your Facebook page. So let me just set up here. I'm going to do a screen share if I don't fight the technology. And let's see if I can put that together. Screen share. Okay. So one of the things that I do, and Brian, can you see my screen? Let's just make this full screen. All right, let me just double check that everything's coming together. Let me look on here and see if my screen is being shared.
Yes, you're good.
Okay, thank you. All right, so what I do is let's go to Facebook, and a lot of times, let's say I want to make a post, and I'm not necessarily inspired. I don't have something that I want to really I just don't have something that came up for me today. So what I've done is I've put together, as I go around and see other people's posts or things like that, if I see something I like, I do what's called swiping, which I think is a good thing. There's nothing wrong with copying. So let's say inspiration. And I could show there's a couple of ways to do this. So let's see, inspiration and positive quotes. All right, so this is a whole community of inspirational positive quotes. So let's say I go in here and there's no need to be perfect. Inspires other people get inspired by how you deal with your imperfections. Okay, very good. So what I'll do is I'll just highlight this post, and what I'll do is just save the image. So I'll say save image as, and I'll retitle it. Let's see, what was the theme of this? It was imperfections. I'll retitle it. All right, and now I'll just save it. So what happens is, let's say, tomorrow I want to put this post up because I'm just not inspired. But it's a good idea to put out something onto your Facebook page every day. It just gives you a little bit of credibility. So what I'll do is I'll go into my page, and I'll go into this file here, Facebook posts, and I can show these images here, and let's see, we'll do it by icons. All right, so let me do it larger. All right, so here I've got these posts here, and I can just take one of those. So what I do is when I see other people's posts or other people inspirational quotes or things like that, I just download them and make a big file out of them and just save them there, so that in the future, if I ever want to go ahead and put a post out and I'm not necessarily inspired, here I've got a whole file of them. And then I'll put a little comment in there or something like that. Another place you can go to do this is, you can just do a Google search in images. So let's say images of inspiration quotes. There's tons of them here. Of course, I can't spell worth a damn. All right. So now here I've got a ton of them. As many as I want. And, of course, you want to look and make sure that they don't have somebody else's link on them or something like that. But, you can take any of these, enjoy the moment now because they don't last forever. All right, so, be strong because things will get better, but maybe stormy now, but it will never rainy forever. All right, so I just take this, I do the same thing. I just take this and I'll save the image. It'll go into my little file here. And one thing that one thing that I can tell you when I do this, after you've used a picture, delete it, because you don't want to put the same picture up twice. And you can actually go in here and search, for any kind of quotes, any kind of information, any kind of thing is out there. And what you're doing here is you're just adding value, and you're getting people to want to come to your page and want to connect with you. And I think that that's something that is important and something that can help you in building your brand and building your connection. And that's something that we can all use. So let me try and get back to the Hangout here and get off the screen share. And let's see, am I back? There we go. And I'm back. So hopefully that's something that, everybody here can use to, just do something to help build your business. And, what will happen is there will be people that will connect with that. They'll ask you questions. They'll reach out for you. They'll do something to really connect with you. And it's, something that's pretty easy to do. But, it's something that really helps to build up your credibility and your brand and really connect with that group of people that you want to be connecting with, because that's really where your success will come from, is putting out some value, connecting with people, and just, interacting. And, the other thing is, if you get comments, you should definitely answer them back. If you have a share, you should definitely go to that share and like it. And those are all things that will help you build up, what you're doing on Facebook and give you a little more credibility. And this is not something that's difficult. This is not something that's time-consuming. It's just, something that you should be consistent with. And I'm not saying put a quote up every day, but, you should be doing some kind of posting. You can do lifestyle, what you're doing, share the things that's going on with you. Or, like we talked about earlier, if you have some success, you can certainly do something. And that's what we should do to be building your brand, because this business is not difficult. What you want to do is just leverage the tools and things that we have. Now, the other thing that I did want to talk about. Oh, and by the way, Brian, anything you want to add to that, or any input? Or
yeah,
comment?
yeah, of course. You know me, I always love to talk. Guys, it's people want to feel inspired. And, simply just by going to Facebook and putting up an inspirational quote or an inspirational message, you got to think that, especially on Facebook, I mean, look at your wall and tell me how many times you're getting bombarded with people's drama and their nonsense and hearing about their cousin's sister's brother who's sleeping with their neighbor's friend. And, I mean, it's just so drama-filled, and it's almost like a train wreck. And, some of us like to, hey, Scott, can you mute yourself for a second? Just because you keep popping in there. People, it's a train wreck, and people, don't get me wrong, people like to watch a train wreck. And I enjoy a train wreck as much as anybody. But when people see you putting up inspirational stuff and, hey, look at me, I'm sitting on a boat, or look at me, I'm at a golf course, or look at me, here I am enjoying time with my family. That's the thing that, believe it or not, people see that from afar. And people that you don't even know are watching, or believe it or not, are watching. And I get messages every day saying, Brian, thank you so much for putting out some posts out there that are, to brighten my day, or made my day a little bit better, or you really put something in perspective for me, because, I don't put my drama out there. I'm not saying that I'm perfect, and God knows I have things going on in my life, but I don't use Facebook to share that stuff, because people really, believe it or not, to them it's a train wreck. And if your Facebook wall looks like a train wreck, yeah, you're going to have people watching, but believe it or not, they're not watching, they're gawking. You know what I mean? So use it, it's social media. Use it positively. People are drawn to positivity, and they're repelled by negativity. It's just that simple. So if you can just simply spend 2 minutes a day and put something positive out there, believe me, people will start to notice that, and they'll say, wow, what's going on with Donna, or what's going on with Mark? What's going on with Scott that, has them so upbeat? It's because you watch the news and it looks like the whole world is crumbling down around us. And then people are like, oh my God, how can those people be so happy? What is it that they're doing that they're so happy and so inspired with all this nonsense and crap going on in the world? And it really, really, really makes a huge difference. And then I also wanted to touch on, William mentioned a thing about using the Fight the Forces of Evil landing page. That's tied to the DVD program. I mean, you could probably use it, but the point of it is that, we also have these DVDs for those that don't really know a lot about marketing online, that you can simply just go to people and hand them this DVD and say, hey, can you watch, will you promise me that you'll watch this DVD? You give it to them, they get it home, they just watch the DVD, tells them a little bit about it, and then in the back here it tells them, go to the fighttheforcesofevil.com, put in this Access ID, which is your username, and get started. So that's a really good program, William, to use, but to just send internet traffic to it, I don't think that would be very congruent, and I don't think they'd understand what the heck they're looking at, to be honest. We are actually working on a couple things within the team to try to figure out a way to use this program a little more online, but right now that's designed basically for the offline DVD program. So you could try it to use it and send some traffic to it, but right now I haven't been able to find anything that really, other than handing out the DVDs, which I have had success with, but as far as using the offline program online, it has been a little tricky transition. So we are working on it. So that's what I got, Scott.
You know what? Thank you for that, Brian. And you're right. What they're doing now with the DVD, it certainly is another great tool. I would suggest, as Brian did as well, I agree, is, for now, let's stay with the normal page that we've used all the way along. I think stay tuned. I think we're going to see a lot of new marketing materials, a lot of new funnels, a lot of new sales pages. And then, of course, we do have the iPass 2, which I know we talk about, on and on, but as they've called it, it's a Ferrari in the garage. They're just getting ready to put the keys in it, take it out for a drive, and I think that's something that we certainly are paying attention to. So there's going to be a lot of additional tools in addition to what we're doing as a team, and all of those things taken together come back to what I originally started this call with, and that's let's pay attention to the fall, because this is the time to really ramp up your business. A lot of times people are distracted in the summer, and that's understandable just because there's so much going on. But with that said, you can certainly go back to getting in that routine, and I do suggest that you do that, because that's where your results will come from. A couple other things that I wanted to follow up with what I was talking about for the Facebook postings. Another thing that works really, really well is food. I mean, it's kind of crazy, but you take a picture of something that you're enjoying, a meal that looks really good. You'd be amazed at how much interaction you get off of something like that. As a matter of fact, I think Lawrence Tam, puts a pretty good percentage of his postings are just about food, and he just gets, for some reason, people just connect with it. They make comments. They maybe they're hungry at the time they see the picture. Whatever it is, it's something that you can do, and it will get results. And it's a pretty it's an easy post to do, and it's something that creates results. A lot of times that's something else I do. When I go out, I take some pictures and I just store them. And if I'm just not inspired for a day, or if I'm doing something else and I want to just get some material off, I will just post a picture that I've maybe stored or had. Another thing that I do want to follow up on with the Facebook postings is you don't want to talk about things that are not going well. That's something that, as Brian talked about, the train wreck and the things that, will turn people off. If it's not going, in the way that you expect, let's put it this way. If you were yourself out looking at someone to be connecting with to join a business, and, there was a post, something to the effect of, well, I'm hoping to get my first, whatever, next month, and I'm really excited. Well, that's not someone that you really feel is going to be, someone that's going to be able to help you. And, you want to think from the perspective of the person that's reading what you have out there and how it's going to come across to them. And I'm not saying that anybody here does that, but I'm just saying, think about that in the back of your mind. You don't want to talk about, not having something. You're better off just not talking about it, period. But you can talk about, the training, the support, the team, the resources, the, new things that we have. Like I said, Mark just got a result. That's great. That's the kind of thing that we can all talk about and get a result from, because, here's somebody that's brand new, that's taking action, that's starting to get some results. That's really where the success comes from, and leveraging other people's results, even if it's just something where they're just beginning. That just puts out there a proof that there is the potential, and that's what people are looking for. They're looking to find out if something is real. They're looking to find out if the people that they're working with are real, And that's the thing that, will get you the best results, is just being transparent, being who you are, and sharing what's going on with you. So, I just want you to keep that in mind. What you have out there is, your best asset, but you also want to do it strategically in a way that's going to get you the result that you want. So, that's something to keep in mind, and I did want to follow up on what I had said. You want to be doing that. The other thing that we have not talked about.
Actually, Scott, let me interject for 2 seconds while I have something fresh on my mind.
Sure.
We take a lot of things for granted here. Like Mark getting 5 new leads in his business in the last day or so. Believe it or not, we take that for granted as, oh, well, that's just a normal thing. I can't tell you how many businesses out there and people that I know are in this industry that sit there and say, man, I wish I knew how to get 5 leads. I wish I knew how to get 5 people that are asking me about my business. Because believe it or not, in the industry, that's not normal. We do things here that is just, like today, I'm sitting at 110 leads today. I think Scott said, how many did you say you had, like 120 something at the last check today, Scott?
I think 130, actually.
I mean, and that, believe it or not, for us is not normal, is not abnormal. I mean, that's a pretty typical, normal, average day. But in this industry, you tell somebody, hey, look, I'm going to teach you how to get 10 leads a day, they're going to be salivating. They're going to be drooling all over themselves saying, hey, please teach me that. Because it's, believe it or not, what we think as normal or average, most people in the industry would die to know how to do that. To have, if you could tell somebody, let's say in ViSalus, hey, let me teach you, and I'm just throwing that name out there, let me teach you how to get 5 people interested in ViSalus for you today. What they do is they sit there and say, hey, make a list of your top 100 people that you know and contact every one of them and ask them if they want to buy this new weight loss stuff. That's their marketing. And then once they burn through their 100 people, they say, okay, well, now I just burned through my 100 people. What do I do? Well, make a list of another 100 people and go to them now. Because they don't really know how to use the internet properly to generate traffic, to get people to come to them. Every day, I have people come to me and say, Brian, can you tell me about your business? I don't chase them down. I don't cold call them. I don't pick up my cell phone and sit here all day long like this saying, hey, let me sell you into my deal. Let me tell you about my program. I have people that call me and ask me, say, hey, look, I got an email. Can you tell me more? Or I have somebody whisper me on Facebook, say, hey, look, I've been watching, it seems like you're doing big things, can you tell me more? And, for us, it's just normal. But believe it or not, in the industry, it is incredibly abnormal, and it's just funny how we just take that stuff, those little things for granted, like Mark's 5 leads. I mean, believe it or not, that's huge in this industry. So for him to go and put a post up saying, hey, guys, I just got 5 new leads in my business today. Let me, if you want to learn how I did it, come join my team. Because believe it or not, even though for us it seems like it might not be a big, huge number, in the industry and the people watching, it's huge because most people don't know how to even generate 1 lead. And once they generate a lead, they don't know what to do with it. So, I mean, that's just something I wanted to throw out there while I had that fresh on my mind, how we take the little things that just seem average to us, where really it's just an extraordinary thing in the industry. So that's what I had.
Well, you know what, Brian, that's a great point. And actually, if you think, well, most of you know, but the reason that I'm even here in Empower is because I needed to learn how to market. And I came to this business initially as the experiment of, all right, well, my business is stagnant. I was having some other issues with the company itself, which I'm not having here. But it was, the owners of the company had a different agenda than, what was best for the field. And, in Empower, that's absolutely not a problem. But I needed a way to, build my business. I had found or used some different marketing techniques, and they just really weren't getting the results. And I was running out of ways to market. I had gone through marketing training and really invested in other programs. And, what I always found was either the material was stale or it was taught by somebody who, didn't quite give you the whole picture, or, there was something missing in one way or another that just wouldn't allow me to get to a result. And
oh, don't forget, Scott. Don't forget to throw in there the person that did it like 22 years ago and is still trying to live off his name from 22 years ago, but is doing nothing today.
Exactly. And here in Empower, we're well, first off, we've got, all different ways of marketing, and you have the ability to choose the one that you want and to use that to grow your business. So here I was in a position where, I was running out of people to talk to. I was running out of ways to market the product that I had, and the people that I was bringing into the business didn't have any idea how to market, and I didn't really know how to even bring them to the information because I wasn't getting the results. So, it was kind of a downward spiral, and I had heard about Empower. I had taken a look at it. I wasn't ready at the time that I first looked at it, and when I was ready, I really went here for the marketing training. But when I saw what really was on the table here in terms of the training, the personal development, the things that were going to help me build myself to be in a position where I could grow my business, it just really opened up my eyes, and I ended up, giving up the other business because it just wasn't even close. It was a business that, I was supposed to be getting residual incomes. The company was taking my residuals away. There were all kinds of issues. With Empower, that's not the problem. The owners of the company actually have my interest in mind first, which is totally opposite to any other business out there. But, they instill that, and that's the culture here, and that's something that's really important. So now they've created a culture where, they want to put us in a position to earn. They've, given us training to be able to take the products that they've created and learn how to use them. There's, the problem is maybe there's too much training because there's too many different ways. And, what they're really sharing with us are techniques that are working today. And even then, I know that there's talk of new funnels, new sales process, new sales pages. They've hired a real, a gunslinger type web page builder that's going to really put together better sales funnels that are going to give us better results. And I don't know if any of you were on the Hangout on Tuesday, but at the very end, I was really impressed with the graphics that they had and the music that they had, and the ending page that they put up. They had all the little symbols were dancing around and moving and swaying with the music, and the music was real catchy. And this just shows that there's some talent coming into this. So what we've done up to this point is good. What they're doing from this point forward, I think we just haven't even begun to see, what they're going to be rolling out and what they're going to do. And with that said, one thing that I do definitely want to talk about here is the Orlando event, because I know that today they're going to be raising the price on the admission for those tickets. By the way, congratulations, Donna. I know she stepped up and got her ticket today. I saw that, and she and I talked a little bit. She's made her room reservations. She's taking action. She's going to be there. She's going to get what she came to the event for. She'll come out of there with, new connections, new resources, new things to help her grow her business. And of course, we're going to spend time together, because that's really what the events are all about, is connecting and really having our, spending time together, sharing ideas and things that are going to help us. So I want all of you, let's all of you get to Orlando. There's no excuse not to. This is your business. You should be there. And it's the thing that will help you grow your business. And, that's something that I highly recommend. So, make sure that you watch it. And I'm still not sure. I'm in a little bit of a gray area as to whether tonight's Hangout is only for all-ins or if it's for everybody, or, I'm not sure. Do you know, Brian?
I think it's coded for all-in, but I think the email I got made it seem like everybody can go, that it's members only. So.
Okay. So at least you have to be a member of Empower. But I don't
yes,
know.
Yeah, I know it's Empower members only, because it's on the Empower posted website.
So if you haven't joined us yet, by all means, we would love to have you be part of what we're doing here and part of our team. And we're really here to help and do what we can to support you. So make sure that you get your Orlando ticket and be there. I mean, that's really something that will help you in your business in spending time. And we talk things over, and we really are making this a community, and the team experience is really important. We ended up having a pizza party in the lobby of the hotel, and I mean, just things that we do to share. Those are the things that you bring away. It's the connections, it's the information, it's the whole package. But I really want everyone to be in Orlando, and I'd like to see a really huge presence there. I think that's going to be something that will help accelerate everyone's business. And one other quick thing that I wanted to point out that I saw that it was posted, and I think they had some technical problems last night, but their Empower is really growing, and they're doing things to help as many groups as they can. And they just opened up what they call Boomer High, and this is something that I hadn't heard of, but it's apparently someone who's in the baby boomer generation. As a matter of fact, I saw the gentleman who was doing it last night, and he was having some technical problems. But he says he's in the top 1 or 2% of all the earners here, and he's 61 years old. And they're going to be opening this up, and they're going to cater to different groups. And I think that that's really smart, because the more that they can diversify and give people the feeling of belonging and feeling of as much support as they can get, the better this business is going to be for everybody. So that's something I've heard that they're going to be doing them every week come September. So I'm going to tell you, that's my target market, and there's that's something that I'm going to use as a resource. It seems as though it's going to be something good, but for those of you out there on the team that are boomers or know of people that are boomers that are looking at the business, this is going to be something that you're going to be having as another tool in the toolbox. So the good thing is we're always evolving, we're always growing, we're always doing things to make things better. And one of the other things that I wanted to cover real quickly is, matter of fact, Brian and I were talking about this morning. For those of you who haven't recently, I know last Thursday's call with Dave Wood was talking about how to do some of the structuring of your goals, and how you can get the best results using your goals and making them real. And one of the things that really kind of jumped out at me is if your goal, if you can't take a picture of your goal, it's not the right kind of goal that's going to give you the ability to focus on it. So when somebody says my goal is to quit my job, well, you can't take a picture of that. But you can take a picture of what you would see when you opened up your screen to look at whatever financial results you had. So what you want to do is really think about how you're setting your goals. And for those of you who were on the training last week for the All-In group, it was really some very powerful training. But that was one of the nuggets that I took away from it, because so often people just say, well, I want to make this, and that's my goal. Well, that's you need to be a little more specific with it. And yes, opening up your screen and looking at a number, that's good, but then you want to think about what you're going to do with that, and how you're going to celebrate it. And I don't want to get into the whole training, but there was some good stuff. But where I'm going with this is, I went back actually at the beginning of the week, and over the weekend, last weekend, and I went back to the 15K. And for those of you who have your 15K, I suggest that if you're kind of in that funky place, or you're feeling a little bit stuck, I would go back and redo that first exercise in the first module of the 15K. And maybe, in my case, I found that, there was a lot of goal-setting training, and I, maybe thought I was going in too many different directions. And I know that my best results came when I really used that exercise the way that it was laid out, and I would, take the time to really visualize my goals and spend the time to focus on them. And it's funny, because I started doing that, and I've signed up, as a matter of fact, I signed up 2 people today. And, that's, I can attribute it to, going back to the basics and focusing on where I'm going, what my goals are, and what I'm looking to accomplish. And, there is something to that. So this could be a good time to reset your goals if you don't feel like they're, if I ask you what your goals are and you can't, really tell me within 30 seconds, then maybe it's time to go back and redo them, because that's going to help you be in a position where you're going to be really focused on and working toward your goals. So that's what I've got. So Orlando, we're going to watch this Boomer High for the baby boomers and the people that are out there, and let's see if we can use that as a resource. And any final thoughts, Brian?
First of all, thank you very much for sharing that with us. Those tools and stuff like Boomer High, for an example, everybody learns different, and they say that each generation learns different. And I learned this, one of the things I learned in my restaurant management career was, and I think it was I want to say it was a Covey, Stephen Covey training about how baby boomers learn different from Generation X versus Generation Y and the new millennium generation, and you know what I mean. All generations learn different. Where my son's age, the 21-year-olds now, they just want to know why. All they care about is why why am I going to do this? Why do I want to do that? Why do you want me to do this? Why do you want me to do that? Where a baby boomer tends to be a little more, as long as you can show that you're meaning the right thing, that they'll usually do what you ask them to do, and they'll put in, because that's how they were raised. I mean, so as generations are raised different, they learn different. So it just goes to show that the company doesn't sit around waiting for things to happen. They actually go out there and say, hey, look, here's a market that we can help grow a business with and help get going, and then they really kind of target it and they specialize it towards it. Same thing with the DVD program. It was, hey, how can we take somebody that's an offline marketer and turn them and help them grow a business here in Empower, being an offline marketer. So it's the same thing, and that's one of the beautiful things is we always have new stuff available. We always have new tools to help you grow your business, as long as you again take the knowledge and apply it and put it into action. So again, I challenge you this week to go out and take some sort of action that you hadn't taken before to grow your business, and go out there and say, look, this week I'm going to focus on this. And go out there and set a goal, set an intention, and really go out there and drive yourself to make it happen and to really go out and do it. Because if you can do something this week and then do it the next week and then do it the next week, you're going to build the habit. I know people that are in the habit of quitting, and they're in the habit of not doing, not putting effort in when they could. And then I know people that put in, have the habit of, I'm going to take massive action every day and do what I need to do. And I'll tell you, the ones that do that, that put in the action every day consistently, are the ones that are doing amazing, amazing things, and doing the things that they want to do when they want to do it, living life on their terms. So, if that's what you want to be, and that you want to be that person, go out there and put in the work and do the things to make it happen, and make the decisions you haven't made yet, and do the actions you haven't done yet, because that's really the only difference between Scott, me, and everybody else, is we might have taken some actions you haven't yet. So, go out there and just take a little action this week and grow your business and make it happen. So that's what I got. I want to thank you for being here. Scott, why don't you wrap us up?
Well, you know what? The other webinar is starting, and look at your email. There should be a link in there. So as I said, I'm not sure if it's for everybody or for all in. So I don't want anybody to be disappointed if they can't get in. And of course, if you're not all in, you should be. But let's join in on the other webinar. And I know that they're in the process of announcing some things. So this is some exciting times, especially coming into the fall. Let's all go out and see some results this week. And let us know if there's anything that we can do to help you, because this is a team sport, and we're here to do whatever we can to help you grow your business. So thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next week.
Thank you, everybody. And if you have not, if you're not a member, click the link below, get yourself started. Thanks, everybody.
Still live.